last lap of the morning ride this morning. Today we're going to be starting from Enquiry to the flagging off, from the flagging off of the 18-story Enquiry Towers in Lagos yesterday, and then we'll go over to River State. Whatever is going on, we're going to try to make sense and make meaning out of what is going on, and then after that we'll go over to the north where we have people dragging, oh, the tax reform bill, we don't want that. Some other groups are saying we want that. We're going to be talking about that, all of that in 1 hour. So do well to join us. We have promised that this 1 hour is going to be as insightful and informative as possible. Once again, welcome to the melting point of Memories 96.5 FM. My name is SHARON MANDOR. Today I have with me in the studio a public affairs analyst, the president and the founder of Open Forum, and our regular Thursday analyst. Good morning to you, Citizen MKO.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Good morning, and good morning, fellow citizens.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you had the progression. We're starting from what happened yesterday. We have flagged off our 18-story. You're laughing. I know you have a lot to say, citizen. Let's hear your reaction.
Not much to say, but just to add my voice.
Okay.
Because we are patriots. We believe in our society. We believe in adding value and being an analyst and solutionist. We don't just talk. We try to bring something to the table so that people can judge to see, is it making sense? Is it not? I think, remember, we talked about this issue the first day it was announced. During the groundbreaking for the luxury estate at Edward Housing in New York. That was when the governor, His Excellency Dr. Moino, announced that the contractor there, the Uyo project was a test case, and we'll see what it's going to do in the 18-story building in Lagos. And that took most people, including me, by surprise, because we never heard such a thing being discussed, either at the exco or at any level. But government, once in a while, has elements of surprise to, either give citizens something to look up to, or maybe something to worry about. But that, for some persons, maybe a lot of persons, it was a thing to worry. And I remember what I said. I said, before His Excellency could make such a pronouncement, it therefore means that the design, some of the possible approvals must have been secured. And there's no way you get a consultant to, bring out such a project that a couple of billions will not be involved. So at the point people were saying, no, you cannot do it, we have more serious things to do here. I said, because of what amount was have likely gone in already, there will be no going back. That will be suicidal for us as a people. Going beyond that, fast forward to yesterday, I personally also made sure I publicized that groundbreaking. I did quite a wide publicity sharing the flyer that showed His Excellency Dr. Moino and the Governor of Lagos State as being the key says that project is an investment. They had said so earlier. I remember one of the write-ups, I just hope it wasn't exaggerated. His Excellency is quoted to have said that that project, that whatever is invested will be recouped in 6 months. I saw that online. In as much as some of the aides are overzealous, sometimes you don't even know what they are talking about. They exaggerate. One of them, the governor, was at the industrial estate at the time, flagging off a project, and the guy was talking about Science Park. When he was promoting the government, I had to private chat him. He didn't even acknowledge, he didn't know what he was saying. All that matters is just right. Promote His Excellency, which is wrong. So, if we are looking for investment outlets, Sharon, I will tell you that Akwa Ibom needs as much investment as possible. Why? If you look at the number of states in the committee of states in the country that cannot survive without federal allocation, do you know the ranking of Akwa Ibom State? Number 2. We are 86 or so percent dependent on federal allocation. We are not talking about federalism or if we have the resources or we don't have. We are talking about if federal government does not send money to the state, can you survive? We are ranked number 2. I'm going to do something about that on our own program, Open Forum. So, if we cannot survive without federal allocation, whereas states like Lagos and Ogun State can do without federal allocations, as we speak, Lagos State, 800 and something billion, okay? 800 and something billion annually. That's almost $1 trillion in IGR. You know how much Akwa Ibom generates, and 33 and 35 and all of that. So that's in a year. And look at the way government spends money. Look at the flamboyance that's exhibited here, even by appointees. Look at the wage bill of political appointees. We have the largest now in the history of the state when it comes to appointees. You understand? So where will we get money to pay? So anything that will help Akwa Ibom to generate revenue, I go for it. It was too late. People say, so I stand with the governor, and why we should stand with him and stand by him is that project will not be like other projects, because those that had issues were looking at the last administration, the hype that was made over the 21-story building, that everything has been booked. In fact, they were just waiting to finish. Mobile was coming, they have finished it, entering into understanding and all of that. And later we found out that even somebody quoted the senior mobile staff that the state government under the man never discussed anything about that building with mobile. It had nothing to do with that building. So we have a 21-story building that cost us billions of naira, lying wasted with just how many floors? Maybe 2, 3 or so. And one of them is even given free. So look at the Dakada luxury estate that the gatehouse, the gatehouse was commissioned by, I think, the vice president with tremendous fanfare. How many years after? Nothing to show for it. Remember, the former governor went to Atlanta and put in billions into the Akisan real estate investment there. We are not getting updates. The people say here, when a mother that the children dies at infancy does not allow a newborn, a new baby to sleep. You know? So the fear of the experience of the information that was given, which turned out not to have been true, something that we needed to maximize the opportunity. So I stand by the governor on this, but then the challenge should be, please, it must not end like the other ones that were overhyped and turned out to be a nightmare for us, complete waste, and it takes millions monthly to be able to maintain the 21-story building. But the Lagos one, whatever should be done, and other ones too, other assets here and there we should need to take stock to say that we really try to swap up our IGR from those investments, and let it not end up in the pocket or become somebody's private property along the line.
All right.
And very importantly too, I must say this, I have not heard the cost of that project mentioned anywhere. It's one of the complaints citizens make about government programs, that amount for project should be attached, because even federal government does it. Even when they put up funny figures like the Calabar into highway, you heard the amount, very ridiculous amount, which we know that it's impossible to have done that with that amount. They still mention an amount. Look at the letters that are most controversial. The what do you call it now? The
Abuja Makodi.
No, the one from Lagos.
Okay.
That's supposed to come to your coastal highway.
Coastal highway.
As ridiculous as 15 trillion sounds, they still mention it. You go and debate, and they'll tell you the kilometer is going to cost X amount, which borders on is it real? So to even not mention it at all, there is no excuse. It doesn't even reason. It's not the best because the resource belongs to the people. That's just the transparency that comes. You may vary the project, no problem. So we need to protect the integrity of the administration because all these little things matter.
Citizen, you've heard major concerns of Akwa Ibom, talking about transparency, talking about how this shouldn't end up like previous projects and all of that.
God forbid.
So, you've also mentioned federal allocation. I can't, but because we're trying to make sure that everything fits into an hour. So let's quickly move on to what's going on in Rivers State. Citizen, I have tried to wrap my head around it, and I would like for you to make meaning of what's going on in Rivers State. Let me just give brief details. Yesterday, a court stopped the CBN and the Attorney General of the Federation the Accountant General money, the allocation meant for Rivers State, releasing monthly allocation to Rivers State until the governor represents the budget to the entire assembly. Now, last week, a court ruled, Federal High Court in Abuja, ruled that you're to represent the budget. Fubara and his men said, okay, we are going to Supreme Court to appeal this judgment. And before they got to Supreme Court, this judgment is out. Now, people are saying that this judgment stopping the allocation is tantamount to a state of emergency, because how do you stop River State from developing because of this? And some people are also asking, why are we going all the way to Abuja to
be doing these cases?
Exactly. So can you just make some? And another thing is, you see a similarity between what's happening right now and what happened in Lagos State
during the governorship. Very pregnant question. When are we going to have safe delivery? Sharon, what is going on in River State is beyond legal interpretation. It's beyond giving judgment. But because the principal actors, they have their egos, which, maybe to use the term, the egos are under steroids. Those egos have been boosted by something and have been sustained by something. Otherwise, one of them, their ego or his ego, will have collapsed, or he will have been able to come to realization that there's a limit to everything. What is really the battle about? The battle is not about River State. The battle is about Nyesom Wike, former governor, now minister of FCT, and Mr. Sim Fubara, former Attorney General, Accountant General of River State, under the same Wike, and now the sitting governor. It started like a skit. We did not hear that there was problem, only to wake up to see Fubara at the House of Assembly trying to rescue himself from a possible impeachment that was hashed without leaking to the public. No media carried it. And one thing led to another. Let's not go to the background. And when the chips were down, what happened? 27 of the 31 House members, they defected from the PDP to the APC. All of them were PDPO, leaving just 4. And they did not just defect in a beer parlor or in their rooms. You know where they defected. We've talked about this before. They defected on the hallowed chambers, and it is captured in the Hansard. Hansard is everything that happens in the house, they write it. And they didn't even end there. They made videos of their waving the APC flag and singing the "On Your Mandate We Shall Stand." Sharon, it did not end there. They went to court and did an affidavit that they have defected. And what does the law say? The law says once you defect, your seat becomes vacant.
Okay, so at that point, citizen,
yes.
before you go ahead and answer the first question,
yes.
why then do we have court judgments, court rulings affirming them as still House of Assembly members?
That was given life to when Mr. President, because
the resolution.
The supposed mediation that took place, which the sitting governor Fubara came back and said it was a political pronouncement. He obeyed part of it, which was to return all the commissioners that resigned, pro-Wike commissioners. Wike appointed most of the commissioners, and they resigned on their own. They were not sacked. And Mr. President said, return them. Amawule,
led faction
that called themselves pro-Wike members of the House, they should come back. And when these people came back, what they said instantly showed you that there is no way Fubara will survive. And by the time they left, the 4 members that remained in the House of Assembly became the legal House of Assembly of Rivers State by law. Law does not recognize once your seat is declared vacant until the election is conducted. And actually, the PDP went to court or wrote to NEC, and they also in court that their seats, the INEC should conduct elections to fill the vacant 27 seats. And the affidavit of their defection, which was done in the House of Assembly, I heard the court said that their name is not in the party register. There's no membership card. Nobody should, under normal circumstances, such a thing, even outside the court. What are we looking at? We are looking at the legitimacy. When the budget was presented and passed and signed into law by the governor, where were the 27 pro-Wike lawmakers? Were they still members of the House of Assembly? The simple answer would be no. When did they defect? The defection, when did it take place? On the floor. And they went to court and did affidavit. And I will read you something here because there is a publication just yesterday that they have gone to the court, so they should withdraw the court affidavit affirming their defection. So the court is not just supposed to be the last hope of
the common man,
not common or whatever man. We are all humans. In fact, power resides with citizens. So those that call themselves common men, they are the ones that give authority to anybody to exercise that authority that, oh, I'm a governor, I'm the president. It comes from what we call common men. But because of the role swap and lack of understanding of how society should work, so that when somebody speaks, they say you're attacking government. Who is government? You are the servant. You are serving. You are supposed to give report to the people, including that man that posts wheelbarrow at the Yome market that was shouting, and people will laugh. That man, the governor, is answerable to him because he's where he is because of mismanagement of the economy. Now, that the case or cases are still in court, and these people discovered they had shot themselves in the foot to have defected, and there's legal evidence to show that they have defected, and because somebody feels comfortable that these cases should be done in Abuja, there's Federal High Court in Rivers State.
Yeah.
And whatever is done at the High Court level, in fact, there's also appeal. I think there's the appeal court.
There is appeal court in Rivers State.
So why is it that it must be outside Rivers? Why is it that a High Court in Rivers State will give judgment on a case, another High Court which has the same level of authority will give a counter judgment? As we speak anyway, just for our information, some people may know already, the CJN, Chief Justice of the Federation, has invited, I think, either one or two of the judges who are very fond of giving funny rulings. Yes, their name is there. People can Google and will find out that they give funny rulings, which means that the complaints that even judges make the complaints like Jonathan made the other day that judiciary would destroy the country, and with benefit of hindsight, with what we saw during the last elections and the kind of legitimacy of Fubara's being able to appropriate and spend the appropriation for 2024 was legally sourced, because the only legal House of Assembly in Rivers State, as that when that appropriation bill was passed into law, was the four-man led House of Assembly, because by law the Wike faction of the House of Assembly did not exist, and there are documents to show all of that. Then too, I must say this.
Let me just come in at that point.
Okay.
The what you have just mentioned, some people have tried to point fingers at where this fault is coming from, and of course we know the two principal factors here, but some people are bringing in the president because of that resolution. Now the constitution says one thing, but part of the resolution went against the constitution. For example, the placement or reinstatement of the House members that defected, which is against the constitution. First of all, why the place of the president to give out that kind of resolution? That's one. And number two, the governor signing that resolution when he wasn't going to go, after that.
Those things can be put differently, in the sense that the case in court against their legitimacy has not been withdrawn, to the best of my knowledge. Two, the fact that the appropriation bill was passed into law when the 27 pro-Wike lawmakers did not exist in the eye of the law, that approval.
The representation of the budget was on the resolution.
No. He objected to that. He didn't even have to do that.
No, he didn't do that.
He didn't do that. Listen, when he came back, because I was even not happy with him. You see, when you have a matter and you know that you are likely to be intimidated where you are going to, you must have people to think with you. You must have some persons that go with you to be witnesses. So even where you don't have witnesses, you must be somebody that is very grounded, so that nobody, no matter his status, will be able to intimidate you. Nobody. The last thing will happen is for them to kill you. So if you die with integrity, like there's a folk tale here that they went to arrest I think a he goat, or was it a goat to Gokumero and all that, and they just came and picked the animal up. He said, "No, please, just allow me to do something." They said, "What is that?" He scratched the earth. He scratched everywhere. They said, "What is happening?" He said, "Yes, when people come, they said that there was a struggle before you took me away." You can't just pick up somebody who had the capacity to rise to the level of governor, and you feel that is your houseboy. You feel that he does not have a brain. You have to think for him. You have to determine when he goes to relieve himself. You have to determine when he eats and what he does. It don't matter the agreement you have, your private agreement. After all, both of them are ashamed enough not to bring out any document they signed, or even the video or the oath they took. We are used to Okija Shrine, we're not forgetting Okija Shrine, where they took a governor to go and swear by this and that. We have not forgotten even the one that happened between the Abia State owned him, the Carlos them, and what happened between him and his successor and all of that. It's not strange. We know that people go into so many diabolic things to be able to access power. It's not strange, but that is your business. Once you are in the public office, whatever was your private agreement, you must manage yourselves. Otherwise, people must demand for good governance from you. And your agreement, your private agreement, this agreement is the saying of very weak-minded people that do not even have. In fact, those people can't even help themselves. You don't bring your private thing, which you be ashamed to mention, to put it on the table that yes, we had agreement, I brought you, I made you. People voted. Okay, people did not vote. You made him, you rigged him, like the chief of staff said they used to write the election result. Chief of staff to so with all glee on global TV that they used to write. They don't do election, just write the names and all of that. No, it doesn't matter. write the name are now responsible to citizens. That's why we need to do so much of citizenship education. So in the first instance, as long as the cases are still in court, the legitimacy of these people that defected and the fact that a court of law who has seen an affidavit, who has seen the video that defection was done on the floor of the assembly, could give a judgment that there is no membership card, they were not received. That is neither here nor there. People have passed that level, and the thing has not gotten to the Supreme Court yet. So the judgment that was given yesterday or 2 days ago is going to be challenged. So Rivers State will still continue to receive allocation until Supreme Court will speak on that matter. Why? If I'm not wrong, the 1999 Constitution has amended Chapter 6, Section 162, I think subsection 4. I just checked I have my constitution, so I couldn't check, but I just got to confirm this because it's important we bring the ground norm. Account shall be distributed among the states on such terms and in such manner as may be prescribed by the National Assembly. The key word there is shall. It is mandatory. Mandatory. So even if you wanted to give judgment, the judgment shouldn't have stopped CBN, stopped the mentioned two banks, Zenith Bank and Access Bank. It shouldn't have. So I said that money should not be touched by anybody or by the governor or by any institution, but that money should be released into Rivers State account. They have account. Let the money be there in the bank. It is shall. So this, for the lawyers, they will know better. For an appeal court to make a pronouncement that goes contrary to shall, it did not say may or will. It speaks. And looking at, you mentioned Lagos State, 1999 to 2003, during the, I think it was even from the first term of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, it was. Where
he created, I think, 23 local council development areas to make up for the 20 constitutionally recognized local government in Lagos State. Lagos State is the most populated state in the country. It is, I think, even smaller than Bayelsa. It has nothing less than 15 to 18 or so million people, and you put them into that many local governments, 20. The man felt they could reduce because the population is not about number, it's about people. Now decided to create local council development areas, and because of their, which wasn't even much then, no. And because the allocation, they will know how to manage it because local governments are naturally should be under state. The federal government took him to court. But they stopped allocation and they went to court. That matter went as far as Supreme Court. And what happened? Supreme Court ruled that Lagos State was not wrong. And Obasanjo still refused to release the funds. But eventually I think the funds was released by his successor, Yaradua. But did Lagos survive without federal allocation to local governments? Lagos did, because they had the IGR. Now, the case of Lagos having to do with creation of what was said not to be in the constitution is different. The bill to be passed, and there was an available house, and he presented it, and it was deliberated, and it was passed, and he signed it into law. So let the judiciary and let politicians not make to seem as if there is no segment of Nigeria that can give people hope, because I have a case against even the last Supreme Court judgment that had to deal with Abuja as being seen as a state, because anywhere, even in school examinations, that Abuja has ever been rated under any circumstance, even previous judgment that had to do with, oh, the president, the declared president did not secure 25%. or did not win election in Abuja. Yeah, Buhari took OBJ to court. I think the same thing happened to Jonathan, and the Supreme Court ruled that what you require in Abuja is just 25%. You don't need to win, just win 25% of the vote, and all those people, they want 25%. The issue was not that, oh, it is a state, and I've said this here, I'll keep saying it. The governor of FCT is not the minister. It's so laughable, it's so nauseating when you hear people say Wike is the governor of FCT. He's not. Who is the governor of the FCT? It is the president, because he won election there to be the governor of FCT because he scored 25%. Abuja. I'm sure you know that. National Assembly. National Assembly are the councillors. They approve the budget for the FCT. So when you hear people, and some of the very flamboyant people say, Wike is the governor of FCT. Which governor? He's a minister that can be sacked tomorrow.